like you are alone. You've got more than any.
I'm so excited to have KJ here to cover Newgate Crowd's EP launch auditory processing. KJ is really passionate about the local music scene.
That's so true. We're about to go on a Hummer. Shall we get in? Let's go for a ride, boys.
Yeah. This is great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes! We're going to hit a Hummer as well.
You guys excited for tonight?
Heaps excited.
Very
Nervous.
excited.
Excited but nervous.
Yeah. What's your favourite song you're releasing?
I think remote.
Yeah, for us, remote,
remote.
but we've heard a lot of good things about Bright Idea. Just comparing it to the other songs, people really seem to like Bright Idea still, even after its single release, and Blind Spot, which was our second song of the EP. People seem to really, get into that one. So we're keen to play those ones tonight.
Why do you think that they connect with a bright idea with that one?
Just catchy.
It is really just catchy.
Really
Yeah.
catchy. Let's do this.
Yeah!
Do
Newgate Crowd.
So you had Newgate Crowd,
Yes, I've been on 3 times now.
and bringing it back to that Adelaide connection, how did you find out about this band?
I first saw Newgate Crowd on stage at the No Quiet Fest, which happens in the near the Barossa, and that's a sensational music show, a whole day of music, which is brilliant. And they were playing there. It was one of their earlier gigs, I think. And I had the chance to catch them early in the day, and they just blew me away. It was great fun, and they had some music coming out, so I was keen to get them on the show.
Did you sort of chase them down afterwards and be like, hey, you're one from Wildfell?
No, I'm kind of a bit too awkward to do that face to face, so it's a little bit more afterwards on social media saying, I saw this, if you're interested in coming on the show.
I reckon we can find a middle ground and have like a paper aeroplane.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. What would be your sort of observation and advice for up-and-coming artists?
I think for up-and-coming artists, it's just to get out there, to message people, to network, to go to gigs and meet other bands and speak to other band members, and to just contact community radio stations, because we just love to play local music, and there's a bunch of community radio stations in Adelaide that have local music focus. So I think bands just, if they're prepared to get out there, there's people that are ready to listen, there's people that are ready to talk, and there's plenty of people that want to help them out too.
Sounds amazing. Let's go and thrash some heads.
Yes, keen to see some more bands. Nice talking to you. Thanks a lot.
Ready to go hit the rhino room?
Yeah, let's go.
Cheers, mate.
Look, we're just waiting for a sound check. Let's go check out. Viddy, Kai and Joey, you were the first band we have had inspired by HQ. Welcome.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Joey, you are now in Year 12. How are you going with juggling school and your commitments with the band?
I was afraid of this question. There's Year 12, there's work, there's the band, and it's just all booking off work. Mostly that's the big one. It's just every second weekend I've got a gig going on and I'm booking off work. And then after that, I've got to figure out how to get homework in between that. So it's just, really, as the crow flies, there's no real method to the madness.
Viddy, when did your creative journey begin?
It began when I was probably around like 5 or 6. I was really into movies, especially Harry Potter, and I wanted to make films. And that was a real creative journey start. But I was into a bit of music. I listened to a lot of Bruno Mars, and then I had a friend who liked rock music, he got me into, and he played guitar. And that's when I thought, cool, I want to play guitar too. And then when I came to Faith, I met Kai, Faith Lutheran College in Tanunda. I met Kai, and that's when the whole musical creative journey began. And I also, between that time, before going to Faith, I met Joey, and we had a jam session together, and we barely knew each other. And then between that time, after that 1 or 2 band practices with Joey and when meeting Kai, about 2 years later almost, we just all met each other again and we just started Newgate Crowd.
You think this isn't the last time I saw you here? Why you standing with them?
It's not easy for anyone to be their authentic self. What have been the greatest challenges in terms of this video?
Probably struggling to understand people. It's more of them struggling to understand me because I think very differently. I don't communicate too well, and it's actually recently, when I say recently, like 2 years ago, I think, I was diagnosed with auditory processing, APD, and for years growing up, especially trying to be like creative and work with other people, in some cases it works really well and it's so much fun, and then in other situations it's quite hard to understand, and it can sometimes lead to like conflict, or it can get emotional in situations, and that's probably the main challenge that I had to face.
Kai, you started at Faith Lutheran College in Year 7 along with Viddy. How long did it take for you to not only connect as friends but as creatives?
Well, the first time Viddy and I ever spoke was on transition day, and that was while we were both still in Year 6. And so at that point, he was talking about his YouTube channel and how he liked to play music and stuff. And so I walked up to him and introduced myself and talked a little bit to him about music and stuff. And then as it turns out, in Year 7, we ended up being in the same class. From there, we just kind of talked about jamming, and at that point I'd played music with a couple other different people. And so one day I just invited Viddy to come along and play with us, and from there we sort of formed the first sort of iterations of what Newgate Crowd would become.
I'd originally played drums, and it was interesting because all of us played each other's instruments before we played ours in the band. Like, I started out playing drums and then ended up playing bass. Will started playing bass, ended up playing guitar, and then Kai started playing guitar and ended up playing drums. Confusing, but we all switched for some reason. Anyway, I'd given up on drums, and one car ride, Dad asked me, would you like to try playing bass? I was like, what's that? If, what 8-year-old knows what a 4-string guitar is? And eventually found it out, got it for my 8th birthday, and took lessons from for a year or so. And it's interesting because for a couple of years after that, I didn't play the bass. I was disinterested because I thought I wasn't quite good. But it turns out when my parents would talk to my bass teacher after the end of the lesson, he'd ask how much practice was I doing, and when they responded with none, he was a little bit surprised because I managed to learn the songs as soon as I got into the lesson. When I first joined these boys, they were far, far more talented than I was, and I didn't realise that at that point because I thought, hey, let's join a band with these guys, and I didn't realise that they'd actually practice as much as they had. And so it took me quite a while to be able to at least feel like I've caught up to some sort of level that they hold, because they really set the bar, these guys.
We're not allowed to self-shame. You're amazing and you're the worth of everyone else, and it's really good, and you shouldn't say that you're not like as good as them.
It's true, Joey.
It's true. Even I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're amazing. You're a superstar.
I actually did have, I thought I'd specify that I did have to practice. It didn't all just come naturally.
I saw you walking down the stairs, headed to your suspension. Not your intention, you won't take it, cause it is crazy.
How did you guys develop the musical element in your journeys?
Well, for me, it was just a matter of practicing as much as I could. Even when, practicing itself, when you phrase it as it is, sounds pretty boring. But I mean, in reality, if you're enjoying what you're doing, it doesn't really feel like practice. It just feels like you're doing it. I think live performances really help too, because there's that element of things going wrong on the spot, and that sort of helps you develop your musical abilities there too.
Which musicians have inspired your music?
There's a band called Royal Blood, which is a 2-piece band, and they make themselves sound so big with just like 2 instruments, just drums and the singer who plays his bass, and he makes it sound like a guitar and a bass at the same time. Just has such a big sound, and he sings. And we took a lot of influence from that because of the big sound and also the riffs, the guitar riffs. That was kind of one of our main influences. We looked at other bands more for the factor of being a 3-piece and trying to sound big with just 3 instruments. But these days now, a lot of our influences are from Aussie bands. There's one more. There's Nothing But Thieves, which is another massive influence.
Them. Yes.
They're definitely a massive influence, just for the songwriting side of things. We saw them at Groove in the Moo the other week, me and Kai.
Did you get an autograph?
No, but I did. We were right at the front. I was like, Joe, and he looked at me and he winked at me and gave me a peace sign. I was just like, oh my God. See that? No. I just looked now because Joey actually told me before I looked.
No, I didn't tell you. You asked.
No.
Okay,
Don't throw me under the bus.
No, you told me after I asked you.
Okay, you guys need to close your eyes because it's got to be like I'm bringing something on.
Yeah.
Okay, you can open your eyes. It wouldn't be the same if we had 1 pig when we can have 3 pigs. So.
Oh, can I have that one? The one that...
Oh, neat.
Oh, okay. No, you got it.
Because you got yours behind your head. He has to stay there though because of the light, because you'd see it between the gap in the couch.
Should I let him in? Like give him some space, or do I?
Oh no, it's fine. You can cuddle him. He's very friendly. His name's Piggly. That was an old dog toy that someone gave to us because I wanted it so much.
Similar one.
I got a piggy
Did you
big
say we
bag.
look similar?
You sound similar when you eat.
Yeah,
Sorry, that's not nice. I'm so sorry.
If you squeeze it like really hard, it makes.
That's good.
Sorry.
This is for more rockers. There's little beans in there.
Just look at their eyes. Look at the eyes. Anyway, don't do that to me again. All right. Get back in the zone.
Serious, boys.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
What inspires you, and where are some of your favourite places to write songs?
We actually talked about this the other day. When we wrote, I think, 2 of our songs, it was all on the one day in Will's mum's Pilates room. And so she holds Pilates classes there. And before we kind of settled on doing band practices at Kai's shed, we got all our gear and went into the Pilates room and sat on, what do you call it? The inflatable balls.
I love those things.
Exercise one.
I've
The
got
exercise
one.
balls, yeah.
Yeah, we'll
And-
bring that out later.
Oh, nice.
It's
And
not an
yeah.
exercise ball. It's the ones with the handles and the eyeballs on it. You go like that.
Jumping, yeah. But so we're just all, hanging out, sitting on the exercise balls, and we wrote one or two of our songs before recording it the next day. And yeah, it's just something about the Pilates room that just had a little bit of light in it that, really helped us be creative.
Bit of magic.
We should write more songs in there more often. I think there's a real energy in there.
When you're writing your songs, do you find it difficult to determine the progression of chords to achieve the melody?
That's a you question.
Yeah. Do I find it difficult? Not really. I just spend a bit of time on it. It happens quite fast, but sometimes I would probably bring it to like the boys. Sometimes I bring it to my mum or dad just for some ideas, just to change things up a bit, just to make it sound more clearer or more stronger or just a bit more catchier. Really, I just go by scales from what I've learned on guitar, and I make the melodies up. Sometimes I just hear it in my head, and I think for singing a chorus, it's just, oh, if I play this chord progression, it's going to be like a yeah, yeah, yeah or something.
How do you know if people are going to like your music when you're writing it?
We don't.
That's the fun of the business.
So
Yeah, if you make what you like, I feel like it's a matter of going out there, showing, particularly when playing live, showing how much you enjoy playing the music. And if you're having a good time, people have a good time. And then when everyone's having a good time, they like to go home, listen to your music and think, hey, these guys are great. Because I feel like that's what it is for what we do, because our live shows really show how we are as musicians, how we are as people. And people come out, and if they enjoy the experience, most often or not, they enjoy the memory of that night out and they enjoy the music.
You must inspire a lot of young people with what you do. What advice would you give to them with starting out?
Do it. It's a lot of procrastination. There's a lot of, hey, we should start a band. That's always, you know, a bit of a cliche, but that's quite often said. But it's just really committing to the idea, really just going in, picking up your guitar, picking up your drumsticks and practicing. You got to find a way to love it, because for a lot of people, they just see it as practice and they don't enjoy it. But once you find out a way to love it, if you love listening to the music, then learn the songs that you love listening to and just find out a way to love it, and you'll just really go anywhere.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's some really good inspirational advice, Joey.
Thank you.
It's all about commitment, you know? And a lot of people sometimes have to go through the phase of, what are other people going to think? And that's when you need to remember that those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. And
it's about what you think. Don't do it for anyone else, because that's why I do this with you guys, is because, you know, I love us all. I love you guys to bits, and I seriously just love making music with you guys. In all honesty, I don't do it for anyone else. If other people like seeing what we do, then great. That's just a bonus. But I do this for us because we enjoy doing this.
Yeah, exactly. And I love you too, man.
That's very heartfelt. I'm adding you some red rosy cheeks.
How did Scissors come along? First band practice.
Yeah, that was our first actual band practice. That's an interesting one. So Vidi had invited me out to Kai's place, and I've never met Kai. I didn't know who he was, and he just said, we're going to Kai's place for a band practice. I'm like, okay, great. So I've walked into the stranger's shed. We exchanged a head nod. Yeah, and then Will, as he is, he asked, hey, Joey, make up a bass line. And so I just played 4 notes on my bass, and Vidi ended up getting the guitar chords over that, and Kai just did a nice smooth drum beat over the top of that again, and we recorded it on our phones, and that's the first official recording of Newgate Crowd, and I still have it saved as Funkalicious on my voice memos.
Funkalicious.
Okay, drum roll please, Kai.
Whoa, that's cool. That is really cool.
I've never been drawn before.
I've never been drawn before.
Oh my goodness.
I have hair there.
Legitimately bringing a tear to my eye.
I love the pineapple.
I'm crying.
I love the beanie, and I like that you've actually made my hair like that. Like, whoa.
It's Connor Mason.
And
Joey's
got the new, wow.
And it's accurate to what our old shirts look like.
The
I
one
didn't
thing,
even get one of those shirts.
Look at my shoes. My shoes. No.
guys, I've been playing some chords on the piano that could sound good to your song Scissors. Would it be okay for me to join the band playing this song on piano?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks!
Seriously, Will, what was going through your head? She's 11. She's too young to be in a band. She's too young.
Dude, this is a you problem, not a me problem, all right?
I don't have a problem. It's just the fact of the matter is she's too young.
It's okay. It's what you do now. It's what you do next. Okay.
I'm sick of you saying that.
You gotta get together.
I'm so sick of you saying that.
She's been a while. Do one of us want to check on her?
Oh yeah.
I never did mind about the little things.
All right, let's give this a go then.
Kick it off.
Want you to tell me what you said. I don't want you to lie. What I want is what I'll get. So when you get off and make it, I don't want you to say because I'm bad and crazy. Just tell me what's on your mind. Watching through the window, hoping that you won't go lose track of time. Yeah, Give me yours when you got the time. Think of the moment when you rushed in. Make me with your side. So when you get off and make it, we say at the same place. I don't think we'll say this unless we take the time. Listen to me, baby. I
That was really awesome playing that with you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
And as a little thank you, we'd like to make you an honorary Newgate crowd member.
Thank you.
That's quite all right.
Thank you.